Skip here with On the Chain. Welcome everybody to another On the Chain broadcast. It is me solo again, flying the airplane. Jeff on special assignment. A lot to talk about again tonight. There's a lot of stuff going on. What an exciting week it is for crypto, and I guess not only crypto but XRP in general. Today's a very special day in the XRP community. August 13th. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess? Any ideas? Anything? Sure, you guys have a few ideas, but anyway, very special day. Marks something very special in the community also too. Some big developments in the Coinbase case. Probably not what the SEC expected. Very exciting. You guys can have your own opinion on Coinbase, whether you like them, you don't like them, but I think you're going to like this news quite a bit. Also, AMM. What the hell is AMM? We're going to dig into that a little bit more. And also, some big news. If you happen to be a Badass Yetis NFT holder. You guys already might have heard the news. If not, you're going to hear it tonight. Anybody have any questions? Let's hear them. I don't hear any questions. Let's go. You guys ready to hit this? Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Just say welcome to On the Chain. I think I just said that. Hello, everybody. Go ahead and tweet this out. Make it known. Hit the like, subscribe. You know, all that stuff I have to run through to make sure everybody knows what they're supposed to do. Take your post. Understand what we're doing tonight, right? We're going to unpack a bunch of stuff. We're going to have a bunch of fun, but also too want to hear from you guys in the comments when I ask questions. I love when you guys answer them. Sometimes you get answers I don't always expect, or makes me think about something in a different way. So Jeff and I always love to read the feedback and the comments of going in there. Lee Sands is saying he's hearing some Twitter X rumors. 8/22 going to be something to keep an eye out for. I keep hearing that August 22nd date circling as well. That's also pretty interesting. He wants to know how's it go with Bricks Nation. So as you guys file in here, Ray Run, what's going on? Good day, lurkers. Steve Willits, how are you? Apex, yeah, ApexCrypto. Good to see you in here. Aloha, everybody. Jumping in here, but let's jump into some interesting news and things that are going on. It's always hard to choose like the stories. There's so much stuff, and then what Jeff and I generally end up doing is picking so much stuff that we never really get to it. So that's always a fun thing too. But I want to throw this up here. Let's jump right in here. What is today? What is the special significance of August 13th? I'll tell you. Moon Lambo put this out and beautifully said, XRP Victory Day. Exactly 1 month since Judge Torres declared XRP not a security. Everybody rejoiced around the world because everybody whether you're in crypto, whether you like XRP, you hate XRP, it was a big moment for the community. And I say the crypto community at large, an even bigger one if you were an XRP holder, right? And so I love what he says here. It's the law of the land. Haters be damned. Yes, we deserve to enjoy this. And I do. How about you? So this is, I have to tell you that I really like this. When I saw that, I was like, how could it really has been a month. Can you imagine that it's been a month? There it is right there. Yeah. Hans Loaded got it. Victory Day anniversary. Lee Sands called it. It's AMM is the automatic market maker. We've heard a lot about that, but it's going to be pretty exciting because it's going to be coming to the XRPL. There's so many new developments that's coming. We've got the hooks, right? Hopefully, I was kind of hoping hooks would happen a little bit sooner than what it seems to be dragging on, right? It's like hooks already should be in place. But remember, we were at a spot not too long ago, maybe a year ago, when we kept hearing NFTs are coming to the XRPL and our NFTs. And we're like, yeah, roll your eyes. Like, when is this going to happen? And then boom, it happened. And it was passed, went out to the validators, needed 80% vote on the validators. Ripple holds like 4%. That's what their vote means. It means this and nothing. It means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. And so when we think about, this, we got the hooks going on, and all of a sudden, we talked a little bit yesterday about the Evers drop, which is going to be, there's so much exciting stuff happening. All of a sudden, it's almost like the lawsuit is gone, slate is clear, and all these new excitement, right? Bringing smart contracts, light, if you look at it on the what we to win call is the light side of it. And then if we look at, on the other side of it, what's going to the Evernode is another huge development. And both of those together are like superpower. So both of those combined are going to bring a lot of flexibility, and ultimately we'll be able to do quite a bit of what Ethereum already established itself as, with having a smart contract platform, the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine, and also having some interoperability there is going to be massive as we start plotting the next 3-6 months and the use cases for XRP. So that's going to be good. Yeah, this is Fernando's right. Fernando's absolutely right. This Evernode is going to be massive. Yeah, and all you have to know right now, it gets a little bit, I wouldn't say complicated, but all you have to know to receive the drop is self-custody your XRP on September 1st, Australian Eastern Standard Time is when the snapshot's going to happen. So don't wait till let's see, don't wait to move to self-custody. Do it now. If you're planning on participating in the drop, the Evers drop, it's like 5 million and some 100,000, blah, 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 something. But there's a lot of great tokenomics around it. And the part that I brought up that I really love is the fact that there's not going to be, they're really kind of excluding the whales. And I think what happened here, when we think about what's happening with this airdrop that differs from, let's say, how Flare did it, is that they thought about what worked, what didn't work. And I think they got it right. At least I think they're thinking about it the right way. And so not everybody's going to participate. The best thing about it is that you have to self-custody. So what does that do? That means don't be screaming at Coinbase going like, how come you're not participating in the Evers drop for the Evernode? Well, because they're cut out. They have nothing to do with it. They're not going to be able to participate. So it's a little bit different, and I think that was probably another thing that they learned from what happened with Flare, right? Because Coinbase, it took forever. I still don't even know if they were able to deliver on the Flare token, but some out of the ones, the exchanges said they would participate, some did, some didn't. And so that's when we ended up this whole quagmire of not knowing whether you're going to get your drop. And then Songbird, it was even less participation. This is very simple. You have to self-custody. What does that mean? That means you have to have it on your Sum wallet, right? You basically own the keys, right? If you wrote down 12 or 24 word secret phrase, you put it in a safe spot, you put it in a safe in your house. I don't know, you trusted somebody, like your neighbor with it, or maybe not your neighbor, but maybe a family member. Well, maybe not a family member, but you put it in a very safe place. That's a self-custody wallet where you actually have the keys. Obviously, all of crypto's on the blockchain. You just have the key to basically to the crypto that exists on the blockchain. Okay, pretty simple. So make sure you have that in place, and you'll be all set. You'll be all set up for that. There we go. Yeah, off exchange and on a hook. There you go. Larry Jones, I like Zum. Yeah, I think it's a great product. Really like it too. It's super easy to use. Again, also with getting NFTs and purchasing them. Whether you're going to on XRP or where our Badass Yetis live over there at XRP.cafe, or if you guys want to buy a Badass Yeti and you're like, no, Chip, I'm not giving up my XRP or my dead body, man. You'll have to pry my dead cold fingers off of my ledger or my smartphone, whatever it would be. And I'm like, fine, simple. Then just go to Supermojo. I can drop the Supermojo links right down below, and you can buy it with fiat. Very simple. They put it in a wallet for you, and if you want them to hang on to it, cool. If you want to transfer it, you can transfer it over to your Sum wallet. Very easy, but you're using fiat to buy it. You're not using your XRP. So this came up from the community because a lot of people wanted to participate. Okay, next story here. What do we got? What do we got next here? Oh, this one is very cool right here. I wanted to show. Is Apex in here? Is Apex in there? I'm pretty sure ApexCrypto is here. Let's see this one here. Look at this right here. I love to see this. There he is. What a handsome guy right there. There he is right there. Shirt of the century, he says. XRP community, tagged us and Jeff in there. But there it is right there. SEC Wars. Ripple strikes back. You got to love that. I love seeing the merch in the wild. And man, that shirt looks so much better when you're wearing it than it does on the site. But you can go to onthechain.shop, SHOP, and you can go there. And there's another one we'll take a look at a little bit later. But thank you for posting that, Apex. I really appreciate it. And look at that. He's like right there. He's got the finger pointing down right there at the SEC Wars. Ripple strikes back. So you got to love that, man. Thank you for posting the picture. And thank you for purchasing the merch. Always appreciate it, man. Let's see what else we have here in the grab bag. I'm going to go through and see what else we have. And I want to get into this a little bit about the automated market makers. Krippenreiter put out an amazing tweet thread that I think sums it up very nicely here. I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. Let's go kind of crack through this together. But I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but let's take a look at it. All right. What's going on here? Got a little bit of a delay. Every time I get on the streaming software, beautiful. So it's here we go right here. So when we consider AMMs, automated market makers, must remember there's two sides of the story. So the first, he goes into the detail about the tech itself and how it extends the XRPL, the XRP ledger, along with the decentralized exchange, better known as the DEX, that we're all pretty familiar with, right? What I love about this is he put these cool fun little graphics with it. You know, X times Y equals K. You have your asset A, your asset B, and your constant value, right? There you go. And then he says the latter is focused on best practices that should be followed in order to avoid making a bloody beginner mistakes. Anybody ever made that? Put your hand up if you ever made a beginner mistake. Anybody ever done something stupid there? Anybody? Anybody at all? I'm not naming names. I'm just saying, has anybody done anything stupid? Beginner, right? Sometimes it does, and I'm not even talking necessarily about crypto. We've all been there. We've all done dumb things. You're like, yeah, okay, I was a newbie. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm pretty dumb. Yeah, I didn't realize there was a tag I had to put on there too when I sent the XRP and it ended up in another wall. You know, there's all kinds of stuff. Or maybe it's something with your trade. Who knows? So if this sparks your interest, stay tuned for the second episode of the series. It's coming later this next week. And then loving this sort of these graphics here. So as the name implies, the payment engine, it's the critical subsystem of the XRPL's rippled software implementation that's in charge of a couple things. First of all, executing payments, auto bridging, cashing checks, and pathfinding. Speaking of pathfinding, who out there owns a Pathfinder, a Badass Yeti Pathfinder? Cute and cuddly, but dangerous as hell, man. You see one of those, you're in trouble. They've already seen you. And there we go, big ass old engine right there. And then we talk about the payment engine. The end goal is to develop a payment engine capable of executing payments in any practicable form through numerous pathways. For this, liquidity must be provided and consumed from a variety of sources, including order book, the decentralized exchange, and the automatic market maker pools. So there you go right there. So if we think about liquidity, you can put a definition, the efficiency or ease with which an asset or a security can be converted into a ready cash without affecting its market price. And if you see what generally blows up out there and what has caused so much struggle, especially when we're in a bear market, is the whole liquidity side of stuff, right? There's no liquidity and it's disastrous, and especially how it relates. So if you have the opposite of liquidity, you have exactly totally affecting the price, and you got more sellers and you have, you know, market makers, takers, and buyers, right? So it just creates a whole slew of trouble. And so number 3 of the payment engine, as a result, the engine selects its paths along with quality to execute the optimal path for any conversion to fulfill the specific or the specified quantities. Some more details here to go into it in really big detail if you really want to do that. You can also read the white paper on it. We're not going to do that right here, but again, really cool if you want to see it. Best way to see all this information would be to go here on thechain.io. I love you guys to do this. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in here, guys. While you're in here, you got 68 people in here. If you're subscribed, cool. If not, I want you to jump in, because if you scroll right down here, join the OTC family. Jeff and I don't believe in spamming. We don't sell lists. It's just communication from us. Every day after the show, we send out a cool email. If you miss the show, it tells you where to listen to it. You can watch it. You can listen to it in your vehicle, whatever. And you just do that. Boom, throw your email in there. Pretty simple. And if you go through, if we go through, you know, let's say the one from Wednesday when Mark Phillips was on, here's like the different places you can listen to the show. You can watch the thing, and again, all of the items here that we discussed, you'll be able to see those. You'll, hey, yeah, Chip mentioned this, or Jeff was talking about this one article. What the heck was that they were talking about? Everything. Like we put up that cool visualization that Mark Phillips brought. It talked about all the money in a visual way at $100 billion blocks each, you come over here, boom, you got it. Pretty simple, right? All right, let's go back to where we were, and let's go back to this tweet thread. So the XRPL AMM advantages. So the decentralized exchange calls for a helping hand to effectively provide the best liquidity to the XRPL payment engine. So let's welcome the new kid on the block. This is AMM, which I think, again, is very exciting. You know, if you saw David Schwartz, you saw some of our earlier shows on this, but David Schwartz thinking one of the best things to come to the XRPL and the most exciting things in a long time. And I think he's spot on about that. But first of all, it's chain native, right? So it's on a side chain. There's no front running. There's one automatic AMM pool per trading pair. So a lot of everything that's good is built in and a continuous auction mechanism. Layer 1, chain native. So unlike other blockchains, the XRPL AMM will be directly included into the XRPL's layer 1 basis, eliminates any need for developers to create their own potentially risky smart contracts. Also, far more difficult to rug people. Does anybody ever heard of that being a problem? That's the whole issue right there too. So like I said, a lot of what has been focused on here is the good and eliminating a lot of the bad stuff, and being chain native is key, right? Cuts out a lot of the shenanigans. And then no front running. So on incentivized networks like Ethereum, it's typical to front run transactions in order to deceive others into accepting poorer trade prices. You know, and again, this again was done by design so that you don't have that front running, and that deceptive practice can really cause a lot of damage, right? So this is completely improbable due to the XRPL's canonical transaction ordering, first by account and then by sequence. So again, a lot of great stuff's built into it. And if you look at it here, you've got Alice. She's got her first transaction. It's the mempool. You got I don't know who this is here. This is an evil bot, right? You got transaction 2 and transaction 3 coming in. Transaction 2, big money, less money. You have a miner, and there are your transactions right there. And this is the way that they appear in the transaction order inside of the block itself. So, and 1 AMM pool per trading pair. So let's assume that we have a pool with a trade pair XRP in a tokenized form of the US dollar issued by GateHub, you know, and this is what we always commonly refer to as an IOU. And I'll be honest with you, I really dislike the whole thing of an IOU, right? This whole thing of calling it an IOU, I guess it sounds good, but to me, we kind of come up with a better term. On XRPL, this pair, the XRP/GateHub US dollar, can only exist once, notwithstanding the possibility of a second XRP/Bitstamp USD pool. And 1 AMM pool per trading pair. So again, what's great about this, and again, if you want to read the white paper and get all the gobbledygook, you can. But what I think what Krippenreiter does so well here is really just pull out the highlights and the bits about it that make it better than a lot of other things that have come before it, especially how we contrast it against what happens over on Ethereum and some poor sucker getting hosed, right? So on EVM, or these are Ethereum virtual machine-based chains, right? This is what's coming. That sort of the EVM technology or the smart contract is coming to the XRPL in the form of the Evernode, right? So it'll be able to run EVM. There could be several copies of the same pool pairing, lowering the pool's security and liquidity, but the AMM pool's available liquidity will be more cohesive and obvious on the XRPL. And he has a screenshot here kind of showing you just kind of a little bit how that works. He's got some pairs there. He's got USDC ETH. He's got DAI to USDC. He's got USDC to ETH over here. And you can see the volumes in the trade pool. So then you've got the LP token. This issued asset, like any other IOU tradable on the decentralized exchange, requires a trust line setup, but also serves as the cornerstone of any AMM. And it represents your portion of the assets in the AMM pool, including fees accumulated over time, also voting and bidding. And I'm actually super excited. I can't wait for this because I think what this is going to do is light up a lot of activity around probably not only XRP, but we're going to see a ton of activity happen. But it's like, let's go, guys. Let's already put this up for a vote. But this is what's coming down the pike here. So continuous auction mechanism. This is your safety net for arbitrage traders, allowing them to remain profitable even during periods of low volatility when trading against the pool would be otherwise unprofitable. And this is a big problem with arbitraging right now. And this is why, if you've ever tried arbitraging, this is where you can get yourself into a little bit of trouble. It's great on the one side where you're making money on the trades, but on the flip side, especially when you got this massive volatility of the trading, this is where they use the word unprofitable. This is where you lose your shirt, right? So it keeps the pool asset ratio steady. So you can see a lot of thought's been put into this of what's failed in other arenas. And then you've got this continuous auction mechanisms, which we mentioned. This is achieved by allowing arbitrageurs to bid on an auction slot and then trade up to 24 hours with no trading fees if they are outbid after some time versus taking that trading fee on some other on some other chains. And a partial refund of the bid would then be available based on the time remaining. So I kind of like this too. It's another sort of a safety measure built in. And then you got everything is paid in LP tokens, and the slot winner can qualify up to 4 accounts for the discount. The LP tokens are then burnt in this process, increasing your ownership of the pool over time. So you can see, man, a lot of versatility is coming. And you're like, where's this coming again? That's right, the XRPL, chain native, which is great. It's not going to be a side chain. It's going to be right on chain. So I would like to think that something like this would go through, or at least it would sail through. I haven't heard anybody. I've seen mostly excitement around it. But again, we'll have to see. We're not at that point yet. Votable trading fees. So liquidity providers can vote on fees to be adjusted to 0.001% increments. Hopefully they stay so that would become 0.002% and then 0.003%. So that's ranging from 0 to 1% based on the market volatility. This is going to be interesting to see how this works in actuality versus theory. Sounds like a good thing, but again, it depends on where that volatility comes into play and how, if it's okay. I like the fact that they're small increments and they can range from 0 to 1%. But again, where are we going to be on that? Are we going to err more towards the 1%? Only the votes of the 8 richest LP token holders in the AMM pool count, which again, more good news. And those adjustments do not automatically adapt. And so he's titled this one a different beast. So you have, first of all, low transaction fees, another big win right there, where XRPL is famous for that. For an arbitrager, I got a little typo there, but the predicted profit of the submitted transaction is likely to surpass the transaction expenses on the XRPL. I think I'm going to sneeze. Wait a second. No, maybe not. Fast finality, lower risk for arbitrageurs, owing to a quicker block times on XRPL, which means lower price fluctuations when in motion, which is what you see. This right here, if you just add the word gas on this thing, that's what it looks like, a giant bag of gas if you're on the Ethereum blockchain. But the thing is, Ethereum was the first to make the splash, maybe because that was because of Vitalik Buterin couch surfing on Stefan Tomas's couch, and they talked about smart contracts, but who beat everybody to market? It was Ethereum. That's why they became such an important chain, and that's why they garnered a lot of the business. They had their issues. ERC20 tokens were like minting like beyond reason, but hey, liquidity provision. There are various ways to add liquidity to a pool, but be careful because that increased convenience of a single-sided provisioning is paid for in trading fees on the AMM, resulting in costly trades, especially with larger quantities. So yeah, there you go. Liquidity provision. The assets you contribute to any pool with double-sided provisioning are free of charge since there's no mechanism needed to convert your provision into the paired asset as there is with a single-sided provision. And if we just started off here too long, didn't read, if you ever wonder what TR means, that means too long, didn't read. AMM enhances the payment engine. AMM is distinguished by its L1 or its native layer 1 status or traits, I should say. XRPL AMM is not susceptible to front running. The auction mechanism serves as a safeguard but also be cautious of that single-sided provisioning, and then the votable trade fees are from 0 to 1%. So overall, man, it's a very good. Special thanks to DEX5 Pro for his tremendous help in teaching me everything around the XRP AMM and expertise from and Krippenreiter. Thank you for teaching us, man. It's really good stuff. I can't wait for this to happen. I don't know what you guys are excited about this, but we're getting there. DEX5, trade, earn, lend, blah, 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 blah. Also says this is the first part of the series, so there are probably going to be some other ones, but really well done. And Krippenreiter, really great community member that breaks stuff down. I love to read threads like this to kind of simplify it. I sometimes struggle when I get to those giant white papers and I start reading them and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I talking about here? Jim D says he's coming in late from a cool jazz venue in Cocoa Beach. Well, listen, I'm going to give you a pass on that. I love cool jazz. I love being outside. Hopefully it was outside is what I'm guessing if it was in Cocoa Beach. So Jim D is it's not too far from here, really, Cocoa Beach. So Lee Sands is saying, how about the Bitcoin exchange traded fund ETF being denied by the SEC? That's great for XRP's clarity. Sorry, BTC maxis. Four Satoshis do exist per Homeland Security. Ouch. Yeah, I'm calling BS on that. I think if you dressed up like three people as a pirate and like one person as a business guy, and you said that these were Satoshi, they would be like, okay, well, nice to meet you. And the first pirate goes, arg, and the second pirate goes, arg, and the third pirate goes, arg. And the fourth one's like, hey, I'm the business guy. I'm the one that knows everything that's going on. We're all collectively Satoshi, but just I'm the guy. Okay, talk to me. Don't worry about the pirates. Pirates are here for decoration. And the Homeland Security be like, great to meet all of you, right? I don't know. I'm calling BS on it. I'm just saying, I'm not buying this whole story. It's too much. I mean, maybe, but it's the government. I mean, and they think they met Satoshi. Okay, cool. Did you transfer anything into the wallet? I don't know. This whole Bitcoin exchange, look, to me, the way I look at this is that if you want to look at who's getting into these ETFs, when you think about it, like JP Morgan, you think about people, it could be a way to artificially control the price as well. But the thing is, it doesn't bode well to keep a lower price. It bodes well to sort of have increments. But again, there's always going to be some market manipulation. I'm not a fan of that being denied. I kind of get where you're going with that, Lee. That when you can say what you want about XRP or any other digital asset, but what we do know is that when Bitcoin elevates in price, the entire market is right there with it, right? So it's not just, so do I want a 70,000? Do I want 100,000 Bitcoin? Yeah, I do, because it's better for everybody. But I get what you're saying there. They were harsh on XRP for so many years. And so you kind of get, you made your bed, you got to sleep in it. And, oh, wait, who has the clarity? That's right, XRP. So I get what you're saying there. But he says, okay, Satoshi chip. Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. Just tuning in. What's going on, Alan? What is going on? Let's see what else we have here. Father Alan in the building. In the building. That's right. Here we have here. So let's go to our next story here. Let's see what else we have here. I want to jump into this. Maybe I want to do that. Let's see. Yeah, let's jump in this a little bit. This is the Coinbase story right here. Let me look at this. Yeah, so this is great. I just love this because this is the SEC getting their ass handed to them once again. And all of this made possible, by the way, because of what came down just a month ago, today, as a matter of fact. So it's lighting up a lot of things out there. And again, anytime the SEC can take it on the chin, I'm all for it. Dave Weisberger put this tweet out saying the Coinbase case is a much clearer example of how the SEC overreached than Ripple, as Coinbase had no financial interest in sales of the tokens alleged to be securities. The SEC would therefore need to do more than win an interlocutory appeal in the Ripple case, which would most likely blah, 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 right? He goes on to talk about that. And then John Dean put this out saying, Dave, as usual, 100% in his analysis below, the court would have to ignore the common enterprise factor in the Howey test. The SEC ignores this factor, see footnote 10 of its 2019 framework for digital assets, but the Supreme Court requires it, right? It all goes back to the Supreme Court's 1947 decision in the Howey case. In order for the SEC to win against Coinbase, the Howey test and the policy behind the test would have to be ignored. I don't see that happening, right? I don't see that happening at all. Cointelegraph did a story saying legal scholars rally behind Coinbase in its legal battle against the SEC. 6 experts specializing in securities laws filed an amicus brief emphasizing the broader impact of the case. This is massive development and really good for everybody. John Deaton commented saying, this is exactly what I was hoping for when I announced I would not be filing an amicus brief on behalf of the token holders / customers. Because it solely involves an issue of law, I said there were others much more suited to speak about on the matter. And as usual, Deaton was 100% right on that, which he says, I was right. Totally nailed that. Then we have the, this is the story right here. I'm not going to get into that because I think somebody else breaks it down better in a thread. But again, I like the way, I like to see this being framed, but you're kind of thinking to yourself, okay, so where were you guys when Ripple was getting sued, right? When Garlinghouse and Larson were getting sued, right? When what was up for discussion, and as we got through the case a little bit further, right? As we started, I would say probably maybe it wasn't until 2 years in. 2 years in, what did we hear? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, like people were, you know, the Ethereum maxis going like, hey man, wait, we want to pay attention here. I think this might be a bigger deal for us. You had the Bitcoiners going, we're cool, we're Bitcoin, we're good, we got the pass already. But you started seeing other, I guess, project owners, you started seeing other token holders, started really seeing, well, what happens if Ripple loses? What happens if they deem XRP a security? That's going to be horrible. So people started gradually waking up, but it didn't really occur to them. Now we got these master stories that are coming in from you know, about Coinbase coming in, like, you know, it's Cointelegraphs of the world. And this one we talked a little bit about here. This is when MetaLawMan went off on the whole idea of Cynthia Lummis filing the amicus brief in support of Coinbase motion to dismiss. John Deaton put this out. We will win, and always remember, who was the first group fighting the SEC overreach? Who was it? That's right. Remember who you were. Reach over here. Tap yourself on the back. If you went ahead and signed up for that, tap yourself on the back, right? If you're one of the 75,000 plus, great. If you weren't one of the 75,000 plus but owned XRP or owned any digital asset, tap yourself on the back because it's a win for everybody. But again, it was John Deaton stepping up, didn't have to. Sitting home over Christmas holiday in 2020, said this isn't right. This is overreach. This is BS. And that's when he filed his writ of mandamus, which was ultimately, you know, denied. But again, look at the outcome of what we got in this case. Outstanding. I put this up here, and he says, we'll win. We'll always remember who it was. I said, look, and I say this for everybody. This is me saying it in a tweet, but I say this for the XRP community because I feel like this is how we all feel about John Deaton. I said, I recall it vividly. I will never forget. And the man who stood up to single-handedly represent over 75,000 XRP holders, making this victory possible against the SEC, will always be etched in all of our collective memories. Your efforts culminated in an epic win. And I think we all can really have a great debt of gratitude to John Deaton. And he was on Fox Business. He was trumpeting what's going on, the overreach, the Gary Genslers. Then we started seeing all that show up inside of hearings. But it really was, if you don't think you can make a difference, John Deaton made a difference because he said, hey, I put a form on my site. You want to sign up? And 75,000 people said, yeah, I do want to sign up. 3,000 of you actually went up and get it notarized saying you didn't know anything about Ripple. Ripple? What the hell's Ripple? I don't know. XRP sounded cool. I like the 3 letters together. And that's kind of how it came down. So, I mean, phenomenal way to way to look at it. Lee Sam says SEC is the gatekeepers for TradeFi, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, etc. I wish they would just be sanctioned since they're corrupt. They use tax dollars and fines to mount cases against legitimate companies. Yeah, I feel the frustration right there. I think everybody sort of feels that frustration quite a bit. I'm trying to see what else. What is Jim D saying over here? Okay, let me see what else. X Factor says the last mile is the CBDC, and they can control what I buy, can turn off my money. The decentralization doesn't mean much. That's absolutely right. And I did a whole rant about that yesterday. So if you want to go look at yesterday, my rant on CBDCs, not a fan of CBDCs. I don't see the need for it. And if you're going to sell me a CBDC, it's another centralized, control by the government, treasury, whoever it is, central banks. I mean, you have a central bank that everything, our money or our value is already digitized. We don't really need another. What would be the difference between that, right? You're still going to print as much as you want. Is it because you can mint a whole bunch of them? And what are you going to back it with? Fiat currency that's worthless. I mean, if you're not going to back it with a real world asset, at least the stable coins are attached to some kind of a real world asset. Let it be precious metals, gold, bonds, whatever, some real world value versus what are you going to, what is the CBDC going to be backed with? Fiat? It's a joke. We already have fiat. It's already digital. You can't show up at the bank one day. We all go to the bank tomorrow and pull out $1,000. Everybody, you have a bank run and the banking system will collapse everywhere. So no real read about it. No real. I see Bullish Mr. K is in here. Jedi Master Mr. K, I should say. And then we got this here. This is interesting. I love to see this in the community. Obviously, we had Mark on. Mark was on co-hosting on our Wednesday show. Talked about Rep. Warren Davidson showed his cards. The creepy thing I don't like about Ripple is they're helping governments develop CBDCs, which is evil. Interesting that he waited until XRP had legal clarity to throw shade on Ripple and XRP. What are his ties to ETH, right? And so this is what Mark put out there. And I said, I too, Mark, have been vocal about CBDCs, expressing concerns that the government will utilize the programmability to infringe on people's freedom. Mark came back and said, and brought out a valid point. He said, CBDCs aren't inherently evil any more than a hammer is evil, just a tool that can be used or good or bad. Congress must ensure laws protect us from the misuse of this tool. That's Rep. Davidson's job, but it seems like he's more interested in picking winners and losers in the market. I said, thanks to reps like Davidson, there won't be a U.S. CBDC. And then Jay came in here and said, Chip can't see past his politics. That's why I don't follow him. I'm tired of the blind tribalism. And then Mark said something beautiful. He said, Chip and I are good friends. I'm glad we're able to disagree and debate while maintaining our friendship. I love the XRP community. And we do differ there, but we have so much more in common. A lot of times I feel like in life that let's talk about the things we have in common. Let's talk about the things we can win together and, respect somebody else's opinion. If they have another opinion about something, you don't have to put somebody down. You can call them names. This guy doesn't like my politics. That's cool. You don't have to like him. And that's what I would recommend. You don't watch anything or get caught up in anything that I say if it's not what you like and it's not what you agree with, right? I can't see anything wrong with that statement at all. But I thought Mark kind of put it right. I came in back here and says, well said, Mark. I second that. I love the XRP community. And basically, we are all on the same team. That's the point I wanted to make. It's like we're all on the same team here. When we think about decentralization, it doesn't matter what your politics are. I mean, for the most part, you could say like, well, Chip, I don't know. I think mostly, maybe conservatives are more prone now. You can be liberal. You can be, you can be independent. You can name any flavor of left, right, middle, whatever that sounds like or looks like. Guess what? There are groups, a lot of people that identify with whatever the title is, who are all for the decentralization, because decentralization also levels the playing field for everybody, right? We the people, it gives us our vote, right? When we think about how does this boil down in the grand scheme of things, that's the way I look at it. I think about it in the sense of like decentralization the U.S. founders thought about decentralization in the way they brought it back to the state level. They wanted the government to provide for the common good, build the roads. Congress would pass things, but everything happened on a local level. You didn't like one state, you moved to a different state. That was the level of decentralization they had in the late 1700s. Okay, but now we have technology. We have something truly decentralized where our vote can be on the blockchain, right? I don't care what your politics are. We don't need somebody to go off and represent us who's going to get fat and basically blur party lines, and it's going to become, instead of a two-party or a three-party system, it's a uniparty, right? All universal, all making money off the backs of we the people, where we can cut all of that out. So that's where decentralization becomes a massive threat in the grand scheme of things. What else we have here? Big breaking news right here. I wanted to talk about this. This is pretty exciting right here, and maybe I can throw it on the screen. There we go. So big breaking news right here. If you are a Badass Yeti holder, you are getting an Unchained Elephant NFT. Each holder gets one NFT per wallet. Let's break this down a little bit. Hold on to your Yeti snow goggles, fellow adventurers. We've teamed up with the mighty Unchained Elephants, a phenomenal project. We've had Daniel on here, and it's a great project because I love projects that are doing good in the world, and we'll get to exactly what their mission is. So together we'll embark on a grand rescue mission for Kanoon. It's a one-eyed elephant. He's 55 years old, and he is in Thailand. So Kanoon's new home will be the Enchanting Bless, which stands for Boone's Lot's Elephant Sanctuary. He'll roam free. He'll dance with butterflies. He'll sing songs of freedom. He will be free. I'll show you a little bit of Kanoon in a little bit, but you imagine spending your entire life chained up 24 hours a day. This is what this project is doing. They raised the money, and yeah, I want to say just sort of like, let's get to the chase here. So to ensure safety of the Bay community or Badass Yetis, always double check that anything you click, we're never going to ask you for seed phrases. So if anyone slides in your DM saying, oh, in order to get your free NFT, it's all bull. You join. If you're in our Discord, this also exists. You can also go find the Badass Yetis that has these instructions here on how to do that. You're basically going to click this link right here. It's going to be the official account, no BS account. It's going to be our official Discord, and you're going to go over there and you're going to join the Unchained Elephants Discord, and then you'll be able to go ahead and share your SUM address, and you open a ticket. And then you share it. So no one else is going to see it. You open the ticket, and it'll be transferred to you. And you have to follow Unchained Elephants and Unchained Elephant, okay? Add Unchained Elephant. And then the snapshot already was taken, so it was good for people that have already held Badass Yetis. And there's like 72 hours when I put this up, so there's less than 72 hours. There's time frame. So if you haven't done this, go follow the Badass Yetis. It's down there in the comments. You can go over there, and you will see this tweet. And you join their Discord, and you'll follow the instructions here. 3 things: you join their Discord, you open a ticket. It's actually hashtag open a ticket on the sidebar, and that's how you do it. But anyway, super exciting news. Here's the project right here, the Unchained Elephant. And what do we have? This is they're over there on Supermojo as well, and you can kind of just get an idea what these look like. But very cool that we are able to combine forces, and great of Daniel, who runs this project, and we've been kind of keeping tabs on it. I'm pretty excited to see that this elephant is going to be set free, man. And here it is right there. There's Kanoon. I'll put it on. There's no volume, but you can see it a little bit right there. This is what we're talking about. Here he is. That's how he spends every single day and moment of his life, chained up like that. Chained up. You know, as you know, an elephant, they don't need much. You tie a rope around them. They don't go very far, right? They could probably just wander off. But when they realize they can't move, he's just chained. There he is. So that's what this project does. It unchains them. They raised roughly around just about 19,000 USD to go ahead and purchase them and let him run free. I can't wait to see this guy running free. It's just great. It breaks my heart when I see especially elephants, which are just amazing creatures. But to sit there and to be treated like that is just horrific, man. Horrific. All right. Let's go. Let me go ahead and move that. I'm trying to remove it. There we go. Okay. All righty, here we go. What else do we have here? What else do we have? Oh, I wanted to also share this video. I floated this a little bit here in the intro. Let's go here. Let me see where. So many tabs open here. So many tabs. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this right here. Let me go ahead and this. And Mometa, yeah, badass. Joined the Discord earlier today. Beautiful, man. Good to hear that, Mo. Meta. Beautiful. It's awesome stuff. And again, it's great when projects can do things together. It's great when we all can make an impact in the world. But man, they got a great project. Loved it from day one. I own, they also, the early days, Daniel set up a custom one for Jeff and I. wish I had that ready, but I'll have it ready for next time. I'll show you guys a little bit what that looks like. Let's go ahead and let me go here. All right, guys. Sorry. This streaming software acting up once again. But I want to put this up here. Let's take a look at this. Who the hell is Mr. K? Who the hell is Mr. K? Let's watch this, guys.
Hello there. This is Mr. K. I'm getting ready to tell you my story. Look forward to meeting you all on Goalcoast 2024.
There you have it. Mr. K, Jedi Master. Gotta love that right there. And if you, I don't know if you guys spotted that merch in there, but yeah, that right was that. Let me throw this little last bit up here. There we go, right there. Look at that right there. SEC Wars, Return of the XRP. Mr. K was wearing that. He also had the on the chain in the background right there. But it's a perfect time to also too. I'd love you guys to go sub to his channel, guys. Let's get him at least up to 20. I'm sure we can get him to 20, 25 subs. But I just dropped that in the chat right there. So go subscribe to Bullish Mr. K, who I believe is also in the chat right there. It's right there. Beautiful, man. But I love this. And again, so we had two people from the OTC community doing fun things, wearing merch. But that leads into a bigger thing. What was Mr. K talking about there? What was his thing? Well, he's talking none other than this right here. Let me go ahead and share this. But when he said, hey, you can meet me at the Goalcoast, well, great. That's where this is upcoming. This is going to be exciting. This is happening in March of 2024. This is the XRP Goalcoast 2024. It's going to be massive. And it's going to be happy. You don't know what that's. The Goalcoast is right above Sydney, and it's right about an hour's drive right below Brisbane. So, and again, if you don't know anything about the Goalcoast, it's it looks like freaking Miami. It's the Miami of, or maybe Hawaii, depending on how you want to look at it. But it's got a kind of a Miami sort of a vibe. Also has some amusement parks and stuff as well. But I dropped that down there. So if you guys are going to go there, Jeff and I believe we'll be making an appearance there. So I'd love to see who else wants to end up coming to Gold Coast. But again, if you are in New Zealand, if you are over there in Asia, if you are in Australia, guys have to come to this. First of all, you're going to meet some amazing minds, some amazing people. It's going to be a great time for all. But again, there's nothing better. If you've ever had the chance to meet up with people in the community, especially on a sort of a scale of what the XRP Gold Coast is going to be, it's nothing better than what you're going to be able to experience, right? People that are like-minded, people that believe in the same thing, and having all that amazing energy is going to be fantastic. So I got to tell you, it's going to super exciting right there. And so there you go. You can go ahead and buy a ticket. The other cool thing about it is they're keeping the ticket prices low, which I love the whole idea. A lot of this is done through sponsorship, but the BPM wallet, is one of the big sponsors here, and they just had that giant meetup over there in London. But you can go ahead and purchase a ticket, and I want to see who's going to actually be going there, right? So there it is, BPM Wallet, ticketing partner for the XRP Goalcoast. There you go. And this digital platform is pretty cool too, because it's all on the blockchain. Super exciting. So an actual conference where your ticket is on the XRPL and it's in your wallet. This is cool tech, and it's being used. I think this is the first one out of the gate that's pioneering this, right? So you can see what this looks like. There's gonna be events, royal dining, beautiful facility they have this at. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of get that in there. Pretty exciting. Easy products. Alan says, see you at the next one, Sophie. Lisa says, Mr. K is the one with the force. Great to see the community support. Absolutely, man. 6-month membership. I enjoyed the show. Beautiful. Appreciate that, Michael. Appreciate everybody that supports here in the community. Gotta love that. Oh, well, Mr. Bullish, Mr. K. Thank you for that, man. That was so creative and fun. It was a lot of fun. I loved it, man. You put that together beautifully. Can't wait to hear the story, man. This has got everybody intrigued right now. It's like, holy cow, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, right there. It's going to be lit on the Gold Coast. Yeah, this Gold Coast looks like freaking Miami. That's what I compare it to, just because when I see pictures of it, and I started digging down, and there's some cool videos. You guys, I threw it in there, but if you guys want to look, there's some cool videos, man. I mean, let me throw this one up. I can't play the volume on it, but I'm going to go ahead and put this up. Let me see if I can. I can't play the video. I mean the sound, because it's, I'll get in trouble. But let me throw this up here. I wanted to. Let me let's see. Oh, I guess I got to share the screen. There you go. There you go. But let's just watch a little bit of this. It'll give you a little flavor what the Gold Coast is like. Is that Miami? Hell no, it's the Gold Coast. Cool. Imagine an upbeat, great sort of traffic there. Look at that. Does that look amazing or what? Got kind of like a surfing, kind of a cool tune in the background, but it kind of gives you like what the vibe is here. Gold Coast is famous for fun, man. So there it is. So yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. What else do we have here? We got a couple more minutes here as we wind down. A couple other things I wanted to pop through here, but I wanted to get in this right here because this is big. I kind of teased it a little bit in the hello, where's my, there we go. So I teased this a little bit. Let me do this one. There we go. SEC v. Coinbase, big update. 6 securities law scholars filed devastating amicus brief in support of Coinbase. Law professors from Yale, University of Chicago, UCLA, Fordham, Boston University, and Widner filed an amicus brief that absolutely shreds the SEC's investment contract theory. The amicus brief brilliantly traces the history of the meaning of the investment contract before, during, and after passage of the Federal Securities Act of 1933. Here are the conclusions. By 1933, state courts had converged around a standard for interpreting the term investment contract to mean a contractual arrangement that entitled an investor to a contractual share of the seller's later income, profits, or assets. So after Howey decision in 1946, the common thread for investment contract remains that an investor must be promised, by virtue of his or her investment, an ongoing contractual interest in the income, profits, or assets of the enterprise. Every investment contract identified by the Supreme Court involves a contractual undertaking to grant surviving stake in the enterprise. Bottom line, in my opinion, this amicus brief delivers the coup de grace to the coup de grace, I should say, coup de grace to the Grace's argument that, or the SEC's argument that crypto tokens trading on secondary markets are investment contracts. So yeah, it's absolutely a brilliant. I mean, this kind of stuff, when I see this happening, man, I'm like, okay, we are geared up. We are ready. The SEC will be walking back, heads hung low, just being decimated. And this is not going to go well for them. You got to just think, fantastic. The SEC is on a losing streak, and I have to think that Gary Gensler's not long for the job. He's just not. I can't imagine him lasting too long, given what we know about Mr. Gary Gensler. Bill Morgan had commented on this as well. He said this. He said, "This is huge. Doesn't it cast some doubt on the correctness of this finding against Ripple and the Torah?" Oh, hang on a second. Was that something different? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Finding against Ripple and the Torah's decision. If the 6 security law scholars are correct, it seemed Torah's got this wrong, but I don't know what he's talking about here exactly. I actually thought that was a different tweet. There, got that one already, and then what do we have? I think that might be it. I think we're good. I actually think we're really good. Yeah, I think we're done. I think that's it. I think we're going to conclude here, people, unless you guys had anything. Let's see what else we have. Congrats. Yeah, congrats on the 6-month membership. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for Jeff. We'd love you all to be members, but hey, we put this on for free. Do it out of the goodness of our heart, but we always love when you guys come in here. You guys make this show happen. It's your involvement. But thank you to everybody who supports the show, whether it's whether you purchased a Badass Yeti, whether you bought a bag of Badass Yeti coffee, Badass Yeti. All the links are below if you wanted to. But it is the best coffee. If you're a coffee snob, I say a snob, but if you're like really into coffee, like Jeff and I are, I'm telling you, this is some of the best coffee you've ever had. I promise you that. But make that. Jeff and I, it has to be good enough to have our name on it. Even though it's the Badass Yetis, it's close enough. But that's all I have. Want to look forward to seeing you guys Wednesday night. It's going to be another fun week in crypto. We'll have to see how this one goes. I'm anxious to see what happens in this Coinbase case, but I don't think it's going really well for the SEC right now. That's all I have, guys. Thank you so much. The best and the brightest in the community. Thank you for coming in here and supporting the channel, and I will see you soon. Jeff will be back soon, but until then, that's all we got. So we are out of here. I should say I am out of here. Who's this we thing? Chip? Oh, see you guys on the next one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.